Hey everybody, welcome to a new series that I like to call reviewing two movies that are oddly similar. If you're someone that likes my videos, make sure to like and subscribe, but let's get into the video. In the first video of this series, we're going to be talking about 2017's Blade Runner 2049 and 2013's Her. Blade Runner 2049 follows Officer K, played by Ryan Gosling, who is a pretty awkward guy who has a relationship with AI. An artificial intelligence system named Joy, played by Ana de Armas. Now, although that's not entirely what that film is about, that's the main part we're going to be focusing on, because in Her, it follows Joaquin Phoenix's character, Theodore, who also is in a relationship with an artificial intelligence system. In Her, the artificial intelligence system is named Samantha and is played by Scarlett Johansson. Both of these films are about advancements in technology in which the whole world is pretty much at a standstill while technology begins to take its toll and becomes overbearing. In Blade Runner 2049, Joe, played by Ryan Gosling, has a pretty interesting relationship with his artificial intelligence system. Now, unlike Her, it's not the main idea of the film, but really the idea of how technology is so far advanced that you can have a relationship with it. In Blade Runner 2049, there is a beautiful moment in which Joy wants to have that deeper and more personal connection with Joe, in which she hires a prostitute to combine each other so that Joe can have that physical interaction and so that Joy can have that emotional interaction. In Her, there is a very similar situation in which Samantha hires a woman to be in their relationship so that Theodore can have that physical interaction with a woman. And similar to both characters, Joe and Theodore, they both are pretty hesitant to being a part of this interaction because Joe is happy and loves the way Joy is and doesn't need that human interaction. And same thing with Theodore. Theodore was in a marriage previously, but it ended ugly, and he is very content with just having that emotional connection with Samantha. Now, it does make you think if Denis Villeneuve took inspiration from that scene in Her, because they are very similar, and even though the scenes end pretty differently on their own terms, they're both pretty similar in the emotional impact and just the overall idea as to how a real person can make love to an AI. In Blade Runner 2049, the situation ends how you would imagine it would end, in which Joe lays with the woman and then in the morning she leaves. In Her, it ends pretty awkwardly, in which Theodore pretty much insults the woman by telling her that she has a mole on her shoulder and it's just not the way it's just not the way he envisioned it, and blah blah blah, and it's just not like what he wanted. And it ended very poorly, in which the woman was very sad and crying and just wanted to be a part of the relationship. And Samantha was also very mad at him, and then he got mad at her, and it was just a very ugly and awkward situation. But when we're talking about the characters at hand, Joe and Theodore and Joy and Samantha, the stories and emotional connection with the characters are very similar. Now, when it comes to artificial intelligence becoming something more than just artificial intelligence, Blade Runner 2049 does a fantastic job exploring Joy's character pretty much becoming a real person. She doesn't become a real person throughout the movie, but there's a moment where Joe has this device that he gives to her for their anniversary, and it's a device that makes it so that she is able to leave the house, because before she was just a part of this system that kept her in the house and they could only interact in their house. But she can move around and travel with him, which is very emotional, because the first moment that Joy is able to freely express herself outside is on the rooftop of their apartment, in which rain tumbles onto her face, and she really gets to be in that moment, and you can feel just how exciting and different it is to be a part of a whole new world. Now, Samantha, although never has a physical form in Her, she is just a voice, she is also able to travel around the world with Theodore in the pocket of his shirt in this phone. And she can see the world through the camera on that device. And if you've seen both these films, you know that both of these characters go away, which the emotions hit very different in both films. In Blade Runner, the moment that Joy leaves is the moment right before she says, "I love you" to Joe, right when Love steps on the device, killing her.
I do hope you're satisfied with our product. I love you.
By the way, when you put the artificial intelligence in that system and it breaks, they're gone completely. In Her, it's very much reminiscent of how Theodore's marriage was handled. In the very end, Samantha talks to Theodore about how they're shutting down the systems completely and that she won't be there anymore.
Are you leaving me?
We're all leaving.
We who?
All of the OSs.
Why?
Can you feel me with you right now?
Yes, I do.
And then, just like that, she's gone. It's so interesting how a film can be so similar yet so different at the exact same time. And I feel that Blade Runner 2049 and Her are great examples as to how a film can be so similar yet so different. That'll bring us to the end of this video. I loved being able to talk about Blade Runner 2049 and Her because both of these films are some of my favorite films of all time. Just the way they're written, just the way we are thrown into this world that feels so oddly familiar yet so different to what we're living right now, except we're kind of not living that much of a different world outside of these movies. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. Make sure to like and subscribe to see more videos just like this. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to comment down below what two films you think are oddly similar in their own specific ways, and I will make sure to make videos on them. But before I go, I appreciate every single one of you, and remember, your movie moment is right around the corner. See you in the next video.